DC, Marvel Comics. I will say this: they, as much dog crap that they're putting out, they are very inspirational for me and people like myself. And when I say inspirational, I'm not meaning it's the characters that they put out. No. It's not it. Obviously, that has nothing to do with it. It's not the characters, it's not the stories. Those are, for the most part, you may find a couple of them that are some decent runs in the current era of Marvel and DC comic books. But unfortunately, that's not the case as far as the actual characters. For the most part, they're dog crap. They're getting people to write these books that have no business being anywhere near them. Vanity projects being wrote by social justice, advocates, and it's just it's in a bad spot right now. And we've talked about this and we've been keeping up with it over the past years. But I've drawn some inspiration from them, despite that. You know, I'm on like straight back issues and doing stuff like that is more so what I'm into now. I don't like that it's like that. I would love to be enthusiastic about going to the comic book shop every Wednesday, and getting, having this pull list and grabbing from that. But those days are beyond us because a lot of this work is crap. And even though you have gotten a rise of people being interested in comic book characters, the comic books, because of that, have actually suffered from it. I'd make an argument, as a lot of folks have. They know that there's a lot of eyes on this. And so what's happening is you're getting guys, because the insane people have taken over the asylum and they work for the Marvels and the DCs of the world, and everybody's all in on this bogus bull crap. You have people that are being a part of these projects, as I mentioned, that have absolutely no business being anywhere near it, and the art is suffering because of it. But there's inspiration to be drawn here. And I'll explain. With the growth of manga and in the West, so when I say manga, I don't want people to think I'm getting it twisted with what's going on specifically in Japan. We talked about the sales, for example, with the last graphic novels in America, in the West, particularly in the top selling graphic novels. None of them were American comic books. None of them. Now, these comic pros will never concede that they are the problem. They think that the toxic people are the problem. They think that digital sales, piracy, all of that is the problem. They will never concede that that's an issue. But the Japanese, whether they want to concede it or not, the Japanese proves that there is a thriving, thirsty market for this type of content. If it weren't, it would not be growing out in the West. Manga would not. It would be dead on arrival. Manga nor anime wouldn't be growing in the West, but it is because people will love this content and they want it. Now, what I love is that as they have ran their brands into the ground with the books. Again, I'm not going to pretend and act as if freaking the movies aren't blockbuster. They aren't putting out blockbuster movies. You'd be stupid not to acknowledge that fact. I'm talking specifically about the books. And I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep up even a blockbuster movie aspect, but it's not like you have that great relationship as it pertains to anime and manga where you can sell one off the other. And get people into one off of the other. You don't really see that with comic. It of course should go the other way, where you got people that are intrigued by comic books should be intrigued by the movies that are coming out. But it's not like that because it's not like they're honoring the source material anyway, and it's not like because of who they're specifically appealing to. They're appealing to a demographic that wouldn't read comic books when they make these movies. It's not like those are transferring into comic book sales. So, as they run that shit into the ground, as the books become more and more dog crap, the inspiration that guys like myself have drawn from it is that, well, we're going to be creating our own stuff. So you've seen these independent people in the independent market, and you wonder why. You take instances like Ethan Van Sciver, who I mention a lot, but not just because we're buddies, but it's a working example. Yes. I know there's comic pros and stuff. They hate them. You know what I mean? They'll try to label everything toxic, racism, fascism. They like everything is everything not done in the comic pro space they will try to demonize and make it seem as if it's worse than what it is, or that person is tied to some sort of egregious thing, which, again, is disrespectful. But nonetheless, the reason why they despise that, though, is because he's seeing success. That's why they despise Ethan and All Caps Comics and everything that the people that are tied to Comics Gate, and they hate that, not because of all that. That's just a virtue thing. All that bull crap where they try to label you as a evil person and then try to demonize, all that's nonsense. That doesn't mean anything. That means nothing coming from them. Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. The real issue is that when there was someone that was in their space and was good at it, obviously, with Ethan being a phenomenal artist, but it was someone that was in their space. He did work for DC, he did work for Marvel in the past. And then he crosses over into more of independent, and he's, obviously made more money there than he ever will have made in the space if he had remained trying to be a comic pro in the sense of with the mainstream big two. Those days are beyond him because he's doing so much right now. That's what they hate. They despise that because there is an alternative, and someone that was in their space got in their own space and is making more money off of them, and their tactics don't work. The reason why I point to that, though, as an example, because you're seeing folks cross over into the more independent space, and not only are they getting people stoked on it, it's very, very lucrative for them. So they're making better work than the comic pros are making, and they're making more money off of them. They're sour, okay? But that's where the inspiration, you've seen me and Ethan talk about this. It's like Ethan would be like, well, look, it's so bad what it is they're doing it, but hey, y'all keep doing it. Because what you do is you turn people on to other work. Because like I said, whether they want to admit it or not, comic books is a thriving, thirsty market right now. People want this material. They want it. They absolutely want the material. You're just giving them something that is dog crap. So what's happening is that there's folks like myself who are entering in this space, folks that are already in that are going to be making lucrative. They're going to be, it's a lucrative market, but they're going to make better work than them. And all of the crap that they say can't happen. They say, well, you make comic, nobody will ever do. That's why I said, this is my challenge. This is my challenge that I'm accepting. I am going to, and again, it's something that I'll speak into existence. When it's all said and done, and I've built this universe from the ground up, I will be in possession of the most, in the modern era, popular American black comic book character. I'll be responsible for that. So all of this stuff, when they say, well, people, these idiot comic pros or the tokenizers, and they say, well, nobody will embrace these new characters. That's why we have to do it this way. It's so hard. Okay, bet. I'm going to take it on, and I'm going to make millions of dollars off of the project, right? And it's just going to flat out be better. And we'll show you, as many of the people that are in the independent circuit already are, we'll show you that you are the issue. You suck. It ain't that people won't support black characters. It ain't that people it's the piracy issue. That's why these comics aren't as lucrative. No, you suck. Maybe how you produce is outdated as well, but you're the problem. And they'll never concede that, but it's fine. We'll make them have to concede it when we come up with the alternative. So this is why I say I'm inspired, because the more dog crap that they put out, we'll sit here and we'll laugh at them. We'll do videos and stuff. But the more dog crap that they put out like that is the more people say, God dog it, man. I need something else. That itch that I grew up, it's not being satisfied anymore, because I don't look forward to going to the shop every Wednesday anymore, because this crap sucks. But it's not that I don't want to support new work or anything. No, it sucks. Okay, so we'll show them and we'll fill that void. And this is where the inspiration comes in. We'll fill that void. DC and Marvel are the first in and the best dressed. They should never be able to be eclipsed by anybody in this space. But they can be, because they're giving us an opportunity. They're all in on social justice bullcrap. They're getting people to write books that have no business being near them. They're cheap. They're cheesy. They're writing books that aren't even canon. So you can't even be invested in this. Okay, we'll show them how it's done. And this is, like I continue to say, and this is all I ask from the audience. I'm not asking from the audience to go support dog crap. No, just because something is independent, just because something is isolated, different from the big mainstream guys, does not mean that they're any good. But all I ask is 51% of your time, your effort, your money, your eyes, investment, 51%. I don't expect you to ditch Marvel, DC. No, just get 51%. And this can apply to other brands as well in the mainstream, but just 51%. Instead of giving 99% of your money, effort, whatever, in whatever space, to people that will inevitably tell you how much they hate you because of how you did or didn't vote. Something as silly as that. Tell you that you're supposed to live up to their expectations, even though you're the customer. So they insult you as the customer. Instead of giving 99% of your money to them, I'm not one of those that expects you to abandon it completely. No, that's unrealistic. Definitely if you grew up on some of this stuff. All I ask is 51% to alternatives, not just alternatives, good ones, not just ones that are existing for the sake of existing and they put out some half-ass product and they think they're owed support simply because they put out something isolated from the mainstream. No, I'm talking people that are taking their work serious. They're taking their branding serious. They're investing in it to put out the best possible content. 51% is all I ask. Not to me. I'm saying to anybody. And you'll be surprised how much this stuff shifts. But I'm inspired. I'm inspired to make lots of money, respect my customers, and do a better job at making characters that they say y'all won't support. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.